It feels like we're living in a world where the fundamental rules for everything, technology, data, finance, are being rewritten like in real time. The ground is shifting under our feet faster than ever. So let's dive in and break down what this new corporate playbook actually looks like. So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your business playbook hopelessly out of date? And I mean, seriously think about that for a second. The strategies that basically guaranteed success even just 5 years ago might be dangerously obsolete today. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The rules are just changing. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through the most critical updates you absolutely need to understand, everything from financial compliance to the new frontiers of cyber warfare, and yes, even quantum technology.
Okay, so before we can really get a grip on where things are headed, we've got to look back, right? Let's start with the old playbook, the foundational rules of the game, and maybe more importantly, why they were created in the first place.
At its core, business law is basically the backbone of the entire marketplace. It isn't really about restricting people, it's about creating a stable, predictable field for everyone to play on so that business can actually happen. Think of it as the official rule book that, hopefully, everyone agrees to.
Now here's what's so interesting. These huge, game-changing regulations, they don't just appear out of thin air. Nope. They are almost always a direct, powerful reaction to some kind of massive crisis. The '29 crash led to the Securities Acts to try and restore some trust, and the spectacular flameouts of Enron and WorldCom, that led directly to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. You've probably heard of it as SOX, which was designed to stop that kind of massive corporate fraud from happening again.
And get this, these rules have some serious staying power. We're talking more than 2 decades later, and Sarbanes-Oxley isn't just some dusty old law in a textbook. No way! It's a key skill that companies are hiring for right now in thousands of high-paying jobs. One law created an entire industry that's still going strong.
And if you want to talk about scale, just look at this number, almost $400 million. That's the proposed budget for the watchdog group that SOX created just to keep an eye on the auditors. I mean, that's the kind of money it takes to enforce the rules and keep the system trustworthy.
All right, so that's the old playbook, born from financial chaos. But the playbook being written today? Well, it's for a totally different kind of war. And the battlefield? It's all digital.
We have to forget that stereotype of a lone hacker in a dark basement. That's not really the threat anymore. What we're dealing with now is a professional, organized industry. They call it cybercrime as a service. And it means you can literally go online and shop for ransomware kits or rent a botnet like you're ordering a pizza. It's made cyber attacks accessible to pretty much anyone.
So when you're up against an enemy that's organized and global, you can't fight it alone. You need a coordinated response. And that's exactly what's happening. Think of it like a global cybersecurity alliance, with agencies like CISA in the US and ENISA in the EU teaming up, sharing info, and trying to build a united front.
And this defense is getting super specific. We're not just talking about protecting data in some abstract way. A new rule from the Department of Justice, for instance, is all about stopping adversaries from getting their hands on very particular, very personal stuff. Your health info, your location data, your financial records, even your DNA. The worry is that this can all be used to track and blackmail people.
Meanwhile, over in Europe, they're basically building a fortress of laws. I mean, just look at this. It's not one single wall. It's this dense, interconnected web of regulations covering cyber resilience, AI, you name it. They're all designed to lock together and secure the digital world from every possible angle.
Okay, so we've covered the old rules and the battles we're fighting right now. But any good playbook has to look ahead, right, to the next big thing. And that, my friends, is the quantum race. And the stakes here, they're astronomical.
And make no mistake, this isn't some casual side project. This is a massive, all-hands-on-deck national priority. The U.S. National Quantum Initiative is pulling everyone together, the government, top universities, private industry, into one big ecosystem with one clear objective, to get there first.
So what does this race actually feel like for the scientists in the labs? Well, it's about tackling problems that are just mind-bending. I love this quote. Imagine working on a super complex calculation, and one of your bits of data, an actual atom, just poof, disappears. Poof! Your whole day's work is useless. It's garbage.
And that right there is the fundamental problem. These quantum bits, or qubits, are so incredibly fragile that the very act of looking at them to make sure they're still there destroys them. It's a total catch-22.
but the solution they came up with is just brilliant. They figured out how to know the atom is there without actually looking at it. The Schrödinger's cat analogy is perfect. It's like weighing the box to know the cat's inside without ever having to peek. That is a huge, huge breakthrough.
All right, wow. So we've gone from financial laws that are almost 100 years old all the way to the bizarre world of quantum mechanics. So let's pull all these threads together. What does this all mean for dealing with risk right now? And really, is your playbook ready for this?
Well, when you talk to people who try to predict the future, they all say the same thing. Risks don't live in their own little boxes anymore. They're all starting to bleed together, to converge. You could have a supply chain hack that's powered by AI, carried out by a criminal group, and it's all made 10 times worse because there aren't enough skilled people to fight it. It's this messy, tangled web.
So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. The old walls between financial risk, tech risk, and national security risk, they're crumbling. It's all becoming one big, complicated landscape. A data privacy rule is now a national security issue. A new technology like quantum could upend the entire financial system. You just can't look at these things in isolation anymore.
Which really leaves us with one last critical question to think about. In this new world of converging risks, where the playbook is being rewritten as we speak, is your organization just playing defense, or is it playing to win?